So next we have Brady Moore, who is the Director of Mission Support at Cesium, and he will share the current state-of-the-art open core visualization engine with over 1 million downloads and the company behind it. I definitely didn't just read that from a script. So Brady, are you ready?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
We can see it.
Okay. All right, good, thank you. All right, I'm on the timer. All right, so like Tom just said, thanks very much to Tom and everybody else for having us on. I'm from Cesium. Like Tom said, I'm Director of Mission Support. And what I'll do is take you through Cesium really quickly. If I can get to it, I'll show you a little bit of a demo or two at the end. And if not, I'm going to provide you with links to a bunch of stuff anyway. So if you guys want to dig into this later, be my guest, and it'll have my contact information if you want to talk. So as you can see here, what we have behind this is a 3D photogrammetry rendering of the Philadelphia City Hall. We're based in Philadelphia. All right, real quickly, I'm going to go through who we are, what we do, how we do it, give you a little bit of a so what, why does it matter, give you those references I just mentioned, and if I got time for it, show you some demonstrations. All right, so open core, what does open core mean? So our organization, Cesium, got started in 2011 when it was still part of a company called Analytical Graphics, Inc. in Exton, Pennsylvania. And that's when Cesium JS was born. There are a lot of visualizations out there now, 3D visualizations and 2D visualizations based in Cesium JS. And then we came out with something called 3D Tiles in 2015, which is also an open specification, an OGC open specification. And so today, and I'll go through it real briefly, I'll go through kind of what our business model is, because a lot of people ask us, they know what Cesium JS is and that it's open core. How do we make money? I'll show you a little bit of that and go from there. So 3D tiling pipelines is the long and short of what our commercial offering is. We basically take any kind of 3D or geospatial data that you have and turn it into 3D tiles for fantastic streaming experiences. Our visualization, of course, is Cesium JS. It's our open source web-based runtime engine. We also provide a analytics SDK, which is GPU accelerated 3D geospatial analysis. I'll try to give you a demo of that in a little bit. And then we also have curated 3D content on Cesium Ion that we walk people that you can use. Some of it is publicly available and some of it's stuff that we've developed on our own. And then again, 3D tiles. So leadership, some of you here might know Bonnie Bogle. My understanding is that she is a founder of GeoDC and originally from Mapbox. She's our COO and she's the one who linked me up with this event. Patrick Cozy is the original coder on Cesium JS. He's our CEO. And we've got about 28 or 29, we're growing really quickly, even during the pandemic, 28 or 29 employees at this point. We're based in Philadelphia, a lot of patents, and a lot of our people come from Philadelphia area universities. We've got over 1 million lifetime downloads and millions of users across a lot of markets. I do a lot of work in federal, so I'm busy speaking to NGA and SOCOM and the Army and BRICON about a lot of that stuff. I'll mostly, the use case I'll probably talk about that's on here is bottom right Swiss Topo. And we're also doing a lot of work with Komatsu right now for construction project management as well. So any of these different types of geospatial or 3D data we can bring in and turn into 3D tiles. Any questions? Everybody probably knows what all these different data types are. Real briefly, Cesium JS, as I mentioned, is our open source visualization engine. 3D tiles is our way of making sure that it streams all very beautifully, quickly, and reliably. And Cesium Ion is our SaaS platform for delivering that, including our analytics SDK and curated data as well. And this is kind of how it works. And I'll provide these, you guys can look at it if you want. I can provide these slides as well if you want to go into it a little bit later. So the so what of this is, why is this valuable to you? Everything that we have that we're finding is that people need to quickly update a lot of their 3D geospatial. And we take in all kinds and can quickly put in high resolution insets and data sets you already have. Really lightweight and fast. We, because of 3D tiles, we really only load the map data and terrain data that you need to see at any given time that's in your field of view. So no more problems with throttling and having issues with loading entire map sets. Our Caesium Stories capability that I'll run through really quickly allows you to share and brief your information really easily with little to no training. We've got a deep commitment to OGC and Chrono standards, and we'll work on anything too. Again, I mentioned our main platform is software as a service, but we can also make it work on on-premise and disconnected devices and networks as well. This is the stuff I'm going to drop into the chat right now. I just did. I got one more minute, and so I'll quickly go through Caesium Story, I think. So as I mentioned before, Caesium Stories is our way of dynamically briefing on 3D geospatial data. I come from a DoD background. As many of you know, DoD is addicted to PowerPoint and have been trying to get away for a long time, but they're addicted and it's really hard. What we've kind of put together here is a capability where you can brief on a slideshow in a way that's really dynamic, brings you into a 3D experience. But if you want to, you can kind of zoom in on things as you find them interesting. I've found over the years that whatever I put into a slideshow isn't necessarily what my boss wants to see. They always want to see something different. And this is a way where you can manipulate your view and zoom in as you go. Lots of different kinds of data, as I mentioned before. This right here is 3D photogrammetry.
I think we're not seeing it, sorry. I think you need to put it on your screen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We're still on the PowerPoint slide.
Oh, wow. One second. Hold on.
No problem.
I'm finding it. All right, how about that?
Perfect.
Got it. Got it.
Thanks for warning me there. Let me get 1 minute back. Can I get 1 minute back?
Yeah, that's fine.
The 5-minute rule is flexible.
All right. So let me flip to the next one here. Okay, so City of Melbourne, right here in Australia. This is 3D photogrammetry of the city. Hold on 1 second. Messed up my flow. Okay, and but what we're starting to find too is everybody's got different requirements for different kinds of data. They either gather it or want to view it in different ways. So one of the things that we've done is that, to be able to see it in different ways. We've got things like the ability to see things in point clouds as well. Hold on 1 second. My mouse is acting a little crazy. Why don't I? I'll flip to a different one. Okay, the other thing I'll show here is some of the Vricon data. Now, if you have a .gov or .mil email address and you want to sign up for a cesium ion free community account, and you've got one of those verifiable addresses, you can also look at this Vricon data that's not showing up right now. That's 2D photogrammetry of a lot of great areas. About 29 different spots all over the world that are probably of interest to you if you're in the federal government right now, that are pretty detailed and pretty capable when you're not doing a live web brief like I am right now. But in any case, any questions based on that as I go forward?
So your tools will display any 3D data in like LiDAR data or something like
Yes.
that. You can import your own data into this viewer.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the point is say you've got LiDAR data, it's coming up as a point cloud, and you want to be able to view it in a lightweight way on any kind of device, mobile device, or maybe you want to email it to somebody in kind of a briefing format. We can take all that and turn it into 3D tiles. So it's really only streaming the view that you have right now. And when you zoom in on something like this, the resolution improves, as you can see right there, because it's really only loading the field of view that you have right now. When you zoom out, it gets blurry again, but you're looking at a wider field of view. So it's all about performance.
Quick
yes,
question.
right.
Cesium, I always loved the change over time. Do you have any demos of that? Anything that you guys have done over the past year or so? It's been a couple years since I've worked with Cesium, but it's great stuff showing change over time, which is great compared to like PowerPoint or other things. So
change over time, like showing like, you know, what an object or a building looked like maybe last year, and maybe what it looks like today.
Yeah, things like that.
Where it blew up.
I don't think I have a demo of that right now, but it's a really good question. I can go ahead and find out if you want to. If you said you've seen it from us before, I can go ahead and find and see if we've got something new on that.
Yeah, we used it years ago, and that was the big thing that Cardillo on your board was very interested in. It was he was seeing change over time through PowerPoint. We were able to use Cesium to show it, and like, I mean, it's truly awesome stuff. So I was just wondering what you guys had done. I mean, we could always meet up and talk about what we used to do. Again, it was 2 or 3 years ago, but I'd love to see if you guys have changed anything or updated anything. But
sure,
Cesium's awesome.
I can't tell who's talking to me right now. So if you can send me an email, I can go ahead and probably find more information up for you on that. And if you want to meet up, we can go ahead and do that anytime.
I'll connect you too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie.
We had another question in the chat. Is this truly 3D or 2.5D?
Oh, good question. So the Vricon data, the Vricon surface mesh that I showed is 2.5D. But for instance, like that first slide I showed you on the slide deck, my title slide with the City Hall in the background, this is indeed 3D. So it just depends on the data that you have, right? So if you've got some really detailed, you know, drone collected photogrammetry like you have here on this slide, it's going to be 3D, of course. And you can just tell by looking at it, you know, that's the way you tell between 2.5D and 3D is, can you see stuff underneath things, right? Can you see space underneath trees or, you know, underneath awnings here? That's 3D right there. But yeah, things like Vricon, in some cases like near map data will look like, will be seriously 2.5D. So it just depends on what you're putting in.
Cool. Someone also asked if this volcano here is an example of a pre-eruption volcano or a post-eruption volcano.
That is Mount St. Helens. So that is got to be post-eruption, right? But just that was a long time ago, though.
Yeah, I guess
I think-
post-eruption almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like May 18th, right?
I was hoping it would play over time or something.
Yeah, that's a good question. So it is time dynamic. So if you have data that you want to be able to show over time, usually the time dynamic stuff I've been showing lately is like showing entities like aircraft tracks or vehicle tracks on the ground. But because it's time dynamic and it's highly accurate, if you've got a lot of different views over time, I'm pretty sure you could probably put something together. And it sounds like I'll be digging up some past demos on that here pretty soon. And I should have included my information there. So if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and definitely set up a community account if you want to be able to. And if you've got a .gov or a .mil address, you're going to get a ton of data. You get a fair amount of like Bing Map stuff right off the bat, but you'll get, you know, like I said, 30 different locations of Rikon by setting up a free community account.
Cool. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Yeah, I know at Cesium did a virtual tour of Denver for the AAG annual meeting, so that we could have a virtual field trip, and it was pretty cool. It was like, there we go.
Yep, that's the one.
Got like a nice little story map going on with it. So it was pretty neat.
Yeah, I may have included that in there. Maybe I didn't. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you included the link in that list of links. Yeah, you did.
Okay. Yep.
Cool.
Is that link public that I could share it with friends?
This one right here,
Yeah.
the Denver one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's public. There's a blog post about it too. I just linked it right to the. I don't know if I linked it right to the demo or I linked it to the blog post. But yeah, no, we created it it was like maybe, I don't know, maybe a month after the pandemic hit. So it was just, and that's why we created it, is because the conference was canceled. So yeah, it's for unlimited distribution.
Cool. All right. So thank you very much.